Good afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to do an example with the tangent ratio, and we're going to look at this diagram of a right angle triangle being formed by somebody jumping towards a basketball hoop that is 10 feet vertically in the air, and we're going to find the horizontal distance away from the base of the hoop that they must jump from if their angle of inclination is going to be 43 degrees. Okay? So let's start off by stating our tangent ratio, and that the tan of some angle theta is what we use whenever we're looking for angles. Tangent of some angle theta is always the ratio of the opposite side length relative to the adjacent side length. Now, for this angle of inclination here, it opens up to this side length of 10 feet, and so clearly this 10 feet is the opposite side of our angle, and so that's going to be our O. And then the adjacent side length is going to be this bottom horizontal side length D, right? The diagonal would be the hypotenuse. We're not looking at that just now. So now we can go ahead and fill in some values. So tan of theta means tan of 43 degrees, which is simply some numerical value that you can compute on a calculator, is equal to the opposite side length, i.e. 10, over the adjacent side length, which we're calling D, the unknown. Okay? So now we can go ahead and solve for our variable D, for our unknown D, I should say. Now, it's in the denominator on the right side, which is not a great start, so we have to get it out of there because we can't solve for D as a denominator. So on the right side, we see that D is being divided by D. We see that 10 is being divided by D. So what's the opposite of dividing by D? Of course, it's multiplying by D, and algebra requires us to always do the same thing on both sides, of course. And so now, the D cancels out through multiplication and dividing, and on the left side, we get D times the tan of 43 degrees being equal to 10. Now, tan of 43 degrees, again, you can compute it on a calculator. This is just a numerical value, and so this becomes a very easy equation to solve. We simply have D, our unknown, times some numerical value equals 10. That's not so difficult. Let's go ahead and solve for D. So the opposite of multiplying by tan 43 is, of course, dividing by tan of 43. And we're going to do the same thing on both sides. And so we get tan, that's a little too big of a degree symbol, for tan 43 degrees. And now the tan 43s are going to cancel out conveniently on the left side. And so we find that D, the horizontal distance from the hoop, is 10 divided by tan of 43, which you can go ahead and compute yourself to check. We have 10.72 feet for our answer. And I always recommend checking with our diagram to make sure our solution is reasonable, makes sense. So we have 10 feet as the vertical distance, 10.72 feet, very comparable as the horizontal distance. And we notice that our angle of inclination is 43 degrees, which is just a little bit less than 45 degrees. 45 degrees would be a perfect diagonal where the vertical and the horizontal would be the same length. This is a little bit less, so it opens up a little bit less. And so that means that it should be less tall than it is wide. And so this makes let's say, perfect sense in this scenario. So if this helps, if you have any questions, comments, feedback, please let me know, and have a great day.